The following program was recorded on an earlier date for presentation at this time.
Hello, and before we go any further, or perhaps farther, if that's how you roll, no judgment, I need to address those of you who are at this moment confused. You thought you were going to watch a video featuring a beloved member of the advertising cognoscenti, and instead you find yourself staring at Academy Award-winning writer, actor, producer, and all-around 100% super hunk, Matt Damon. I am not Matt Damon. If you look closely, you will realize I'm only 50% hunky, 45% pasty, 4% chunky, and 1% perky on the inside. I am, however, handy with deep fakes, so your confusion is understandable. But I've digressed before I've even actually started. I am Jason Fox, a copywriter and creative director of vague repute, best known in advertising circles as Lee Cloud's Beard on Twitter. But I'm not here to discuss my ultra-niche or niche Twitter fame, nor am I here to rap, which is apparently something copywriters are expected to do when looking for a gig. No, I am here on September 18th in the year of our Lord 2020 because it is my birthday, and I have chosen to celebrate this day by doing something you are never, ever, ever, no never, supposed to do in the ad industry. That's right, I'm going to reveal my actual age. And then, in a daredevil move even Evel Knievel would walk away from if he hadn't passed away in 2007, I'm going to ask you for a job. Gasp and double gasp, I hear you gasp. But Mr. Fox, J-Fo, J-Fro, booby old chum old pal, you don't look a day over 47. Well, thank you. My cucumber peels and whale placenta smoothies must be working. But the truth is I actually am a day over 47. Exactly one day. Yes, I am 48 years old today. Or as measured in ad industry years, roughly the same age as Dracula's great-great-grandfather. And given my Elmer's-like complexion, I'm just as nearly heliophobic. Suffice it to say, I've been in the industry a long, long time. Not as long as some people, to be sure, but longer than most people are made to feel welcome. In my case, 26 years. Now, when I started out 26 years ago, with a spring in my step and ace of bases the sign in my heart, I knew whatever a marketing degree from a semi-prestigious institute of higher learning taught me. Something about the 4 Ps and two-tailed t-tests, if I recall correctly. Since then, I have learned much. Have I learned everything? Of course not. That would make me some sort of advertising demigod with the power of 1,000 Ogilvies, and no one has the pipe tobacco budget for that, not even Gary V. Now, some joking aside, my efforts and my team's efforts over the years have served both our agencies and our clients quite well. They've won accounts, saved CMOs' jobs, and in at least one case performed well enough to run for over a decade. I've worked on ginormous brands. I've helped startups start. And I've waxed poetic on behalf of pretty much every industry that isn't creepy. CPG, B2C, B2B, and BSB, all right. I've gone from low fur on the org chart to the head of the department. Not that I have to lead yours, but I can if so required. I've helped over 500 clients, tackled 5,000 projects with extreme prejudice, and created or refined over 60 brand voices, not counting the fake one I'm using now. I've written upwards of 200 TV spots, twice as many radio spots, and more websites, display ads, social posts, and stick 'em wherever they'll fit headlines than the #1 world-ranked stick shaker could shake a stick at. I've helped rebrand 3 cities, only one of which I actually lived in. I once won an Effie for convincing people that Galveston was a secret paradise. I've directed 2 of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the voice of CNBC, a lesser-known member of Saturday Night Live, and wrote a campaign so wry and delightful that the voice of Winnie the Pooh did it for scale. Okay, LA scale, but still. Recently, in preparation for the launch of their new cruise ship division, a major British concern literally called me in to solve problems that their 7 with a 7, roster agencies could not. I've been digital since forever and a day, coded one of the first personal portfolio sites back in '96, and I could probably improve the Wi-Fi infrastructure in your office while on a conference call if you ever return to said office. And I once convinced the chairman of Walmart to wear an I Heart Britney Spears t-shirt and confess his undying love for Brit in a company-wide video. Why did he do this? Because clients trust me. Why do they trust me? Because I never condescend and always deliver on what I promise. And what I promise is to make things better, more interesting, more relevant, More of what makes brands worthwhile, makes the cash register ring. In this case, metaphorically, I suppose. Because all of the, pardon my language, rigmarole I just mentioned means jack squat. If the work I've helped produce has itself produced, well, jack squat. Now, this is the point where it would be actually useful to crack open a six-pack of big data and pour out some impressive revenue numbers. But as many of you have probably experienced, clients aren't terribly keen on sharing such things with the agency unless, of course, the numbers are bad, and it's all your fault. So I've had to estimate a figure, and I've come to the conclusion that it is $8.37 bajillion. Canadian. So, whatever. It's still a lot. It is. But let's be honest. Has this very video proven anything beyond showcasing my natural Midwestern charisma? After all, this production is little more than the semi-coherent ramblings of a middle-aged pasty doofus. Yet here you are, still watching, still listening, still, wait for it, engaged. Without wacky hijinks, calling in favors from production companies, or, again, rapping. Why? Because it's better than another Zoomathon or facing those 8,000 Slack notifications from your boss asking why you didn't respond to yesterday's Slack notifications? No. It's because this is interesting in its own chaotic, disjointed, mildly AMSR kind of way. And so, in the words of Matthew Page Damon, who I am not, but could be if I were 2 years older, how do you like dem apples? Personally, I like my apples in pie. And since I said pie, it's time for me to shut my pie hole. So, if you need someone for either a day or a decade who knows what they're doing, how to craft a strategy, how to build a team, how to make the people on that team successful, how to make clients happy with great work, as opposed to other things, and how to prepare a perfect steak, someone who obviously doesn't take himself too seriously, and someone who will not quite fit in the best possible ways, then I look forward to your offers of employment or freelance work at jfox@jasonfox.net. Go big, go bold, go old-ish. Have a good one, and happy birthday to me.